The Momi-class destroyers were a class of 21 second-class destroyers of the Imperial Japanese Navy. All were named for plants. Obsolete by the beginning of the Pacific War, the Momis were relegated to mostly secondary roles, with some vessels serving throughout the war as patrol vessels or high-speed transports. Background: construction of the medium-sized Momi-class destroyers was authorized as part of the Imperial Japanese Navy's 8-4 fleet program from fiscal 1918 to 1920, as an accompaniment to the larger Momi-class class with which they shared many common design characteristics. These vessels were produced out of several shipyards around Japan, and when formed into attack squadrons of 2 to 4 vessels, made up the backbone of the interwar Imperial Japanese Navy. The final 7 vessels planned for this series were cancelled, and reordered as the new Wakate-class destroyers in 1919. Initial design: the Momi-class was a development of the Enochi's second-class destroyers, relying on the same basic hull. They were quite small, comparable to Royal Navy corvettes. The design incorporated features discovered on German destroyers captured during World War I, including a lengthened forecastle with a break forming a well deck immediately forward of the bridge. This arrangement, apparently derived from contemporary torpedo boat practice, offered the advantage of a low, semi-protected area for the forward torpedo tubes, albeit at the cost of becoming awash in heavy seas. Initial problems with stability during high-speed turns were later corrected by widening the beam and bringing up the waterline. When compared with the Momi-class class, the smaller size necessitated a reduction from 4 boilers to 3 and the adoption of lighter-weight Parsons direct-drive turbines, resulting in a drop from 38,500 horsepower in the Momi-class class to 21,500 horsepower in the Momi-class. In addition, bunkerage was lowered to 275 tons of oil fuel. As gear turbine technology was not yet perfected, the Navy experimented with a variety of power plants on the Momi-class. As with the Momi-class class, the Type 3120 mm 45 caliber naval guns were mounted high, with the Q gun removed, and as opposed to the Momi-class, only one set of double torpedo tubes fitted aft. Early operational history: due to the shallow draft, the Momi-class destroyers proved to be excellent for operation in coastal waters, and were used along the coast of China to support amphibious landings during the Second Sino-Japanese War. A number of the Momi-class vessels were lost or disposed during the interwar period. Momi herself was turned over to trials in 1932, while Warabai was run down by the Kusujinsu on 27 August 1927 off Maizuru, Kyoto. Keiya and Nashi were scrapped in 1939. Also in 1939, Aoi, Fuji, Haji, Hishi, Kiku's, Satsuki, Tad, Sutra and Yomogi were removed from front-line combat service and converted into patrol vessels. In 1940, Ashi, Kaki, 9, Summer, and Tague were disarmed and re-rated as training ships. The surviving Momi-class destroyers had their amidships 4.7-INCH gun replaced by 2 triple Type 96 25mm at-A air guns from 1940 to 1943. Suga was sunk by air attack 15 January 1945. Hasu was surrendered and scrapped at the end of the war. Uri was surrendered, but sank after striking a mine off Korea on 8 October 1945. As patrol boats. Beginning in 1939, 9 Momi-class vessels were reclassified as patrol boats and converted for escort duty. having one boiler removed and speed to just 18 knots, and the torpedo tubes, minesweeping gear, and one gun mount replaced by 6 Type 96 25mm at-A air guns, 36 depth charges, and depth charge throwers. As well, the names were dropped and they were simply numbered. During 1941–42, these vessels were modified again to carry and launch a Toku Daihatsu-class landing craft, by having the aft smokestack removed and the stern modified with a sloping deck to the waterline, as well as providing accommodation for 150 naval infantry troops. All of these vessels except X Fuji were sunk during the course of the Pacific War. List of ships.